All right, let's see here. Let's be a little more awake for this one. The So what I did earlier, Chip, I did this earlier, and I went back to listen to it. It's all choppy, it's all fucked up, and it was driving me fucking berserk, fucking listening to it. So I'm gonna redo this shit, redo this thing, and I think I fixed the problem. I think a little bit of an internet issue there with this. So again, um, I'm gonna talk about this channel a little bit, and this video is actually meant for one person. It's anybody who wants to listen to it can listen to it. I really don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. Um, you know, leave your prejudices out of this bullshit because I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't care. I don't care about your fucking drama. I don't care about what you feel about this guy. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? What's happening? Yeah, I haven't done anything quite a while. A lot of stuff, real life going on, man. I just haven't really felt like dealing with Vegas. Um, so been busy. But yeah, I recorded this video earlier. It was a shit show. I didn't realize that until after it posted, and I listened to it. And so just kind of want to go through this again so that I can actually be heard, I guess. You know. It's all right, dude. It's just Vegas. This is Vegas, right? So this ain't drama. This ain't any of that bullshit. This is Vegas. I don't care about the fucking drama. You know, I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people gonna freak out about this bullshit. And I'm talking about 10 here, but realistically, this is about Vegas. This ain't about 10. And so the deal is with this. He decided to he put a video out a few days ago. I think it was. I don't know. Let me look at this. Let's see if we can check this out. Actually, let me get rid of my icon here and go full screen with his channel. All right. So let's see. 9 days ago. Yeah, I did a video 9 days ago. I just saw it a few days ago. So and I watched that. And the deal is, I started talking to him. I asked him for some of the FLIR information through his comments, and he basically made a video for me. Since he made a video for me, I figure, he showed me that respect. I'm going to make one back for him, and and do deal with that. So that's why I'm doing this here. That's why I did this earlier. Well, like I said, it just was a shit show earlier, so I got to redo this. Now I'm going to play his videos. You don't like him, I'm sorry, but that's what this is. That's what it's about here. This is what I'm doing, and I'm going to disagree with some of what he's got to say. I'm going to agree with some of what he's got to say, but like I said, he showed me respect to actually, make a video for me to give me some of the information I was looking for. But in order to get to that, I'm gonna have to go through his original video. I think it's about 15 minutes long or something like that. But the way I talk, man, talked for an hour earlier. So here we go. And like I said, mainly this is for him. Yeah, pause. Famous words of fucking 10. You're gonna hear a lot of that. Here we go.
This is a video about the glass
Ooh,
and what really happened that
echo.
night of 1 October 2017 when this guy, or it could have been two guys firing, but they never overlapped the fire. We'll talk about that. They never shot at the same time if it was two people. But I'm not sure if it was because I haven't found any evidence.
I thought you said it was about the truth about the glass, man. And then you're saying you're not sure if it's two people. That sounds kind of shaky to me.
But let me show you something right here. This is what I consider one of the most famous pictures taken from a helicopter of the crime scene. And so many people look at this and they don't even understand what this picture means. What we found out later
These are two broken windows.
is this window here, which was the primary window where most of the weapons.
And I said this last time, dude. I love that he uses a garbage grabber as a pointer. That's pro. That's something. That's classy.
Were fired. This whole left side, the whole left side right here, was not even broke out when he was firing out the window. That is what was broken out, obviously, by the police at 12:30 a.m.
And that is where we're going to disagree. Anyway, we'll get into that.
No bullshit. At 12:30 a.m. How do I know that? Because there's a famous body camera over on LVSA, Las Vegas Shooting Archive, that shows at 12:30, approximately 12:30 a.m., glass is falling from the Mandalay Bay.
And using the word famous in that context is a little loose.
People were assuming that the whole window was broken out at 12:30 to make it look like that's where the shooting was from.
As opposed to assuming it wasn't. But yeah, we'll get into it.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. In reality, on the right side, let me get my pointer under control.
Stop smudging up TV, man.
This right side right here was what he fired from. He fired from this area right here.
Mm.
This left side, this entire left side was broken out by the LVMPD.
Okay, now that's where we're going to disagree. I don't think the LVMPD went up there with the ambition of breaking out this fucking window. I don't think they did that. So we'll get into a little bit of it. I just want to let this run for a little bit.
How do I know that? Before you put the thumb down on the video, how do I know that? I know it because...
And thumbs down don't matter anymore, bro, unless people are watching your Social Blade. And if people are that into you to watch your Social Blade, well, that says more about them than it does about you at that point. So I wouldn't worry about the thumbs down button anymore, brother. That's fucking a thing of the past. Who gives a shit?
At 11 o'clock at night, approximately 11 o'clock at night, there was a FLIR camera, 11:20, 11:30. Between 11 and 11:30 at night, there was a helicopter went by with a FLIR, F-L-I-R camera.
So about 11:30 is what you're saying, because the video he sent me after this has those images, but has no timestamp on them. So 11:30. I'm going to take what he's saying as being accurate, because I just don't know.
And it showed the exact opening of that window. That's why, being a right-handed shooter, he could not shoot the fuel tanks from this window. That's why he had AR-10s at the window. He wanted to shoot with a larger .308 round. He wanted to shoot the fuel tanks from this window, but guess what? He didn't make a big enough opening, so he had to shoot over here.
Well, your logic is wrong. Your logic is flawed, because you're saying that because he didn't make a big enough opening in the window, he had to use the other window, but he had a fucking hammer. He could have made an opening big enough in that window. But I'll get into why I think he didn't fire at the fuel tanks from that window. Why he didn't use the windows that are above this guy's finger right here, I don't know. I don't know why he used 134 as opposed to using 135. But anyways, we'll get into this a little bit.
At the fuel tanks at 10:08 and 10:09. Pause.
All right. Famous words. You go with your bad self.
Okay, back over here. I just talked about that window right over here.
Yes, you did.
Half of the glass that you're seeing, actually the left half where the pointer is, wasn't even broke out. Only the right half over here was broke out.
Yeah,
That's what he fired from for the first 4 volleys.
That's your speculation. You know what's funny, Matt, is he doesn't mention you in here because I don't think you really have had much interaction with Ten, but he does later go into how there's only 2 people in this community that know anything about glass, and it's him and it's Ten and Mark Ollinger. So I'm guessing you and him have never really conversed much.
Unfortunately, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, folks.
As opposed to
those
the top
were
of your
the
heart.
most deadly volleys. 100 round, 95, 98, something like that. Rounds of ammunition fired. I do believe that that's when the majority of the people died.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
All right, let's go over here to the smaller room that he had. This was an adjoining room.
Definitely agree with
This
that.
room right here is 1,750 square feet. This thing's bigger than many houses. It's bigger than most condominiums. 1,750 square feet. There's a door right in.
All right. So I went through this last time. So if you guys watched the last video, this is going to be regurgitated information. But I want to show a little bit of, just get some context here. Because I've actually stayed in a room with a very similar floor plan to that in the Mandalay Bay on one of the corner suites there. And they're a lot smaller than you would think. Okay. So this is the photo I'm going to use. And this is from the final report. Probably get flagged by YouTube for having whatever they call this content. Anyways, so we're looking at Paddock, right? Paddock's what, about 6'1"? They said 6'4" in the fucking, whatever old information people were using. But, even if he's 6'4", you look at him, he's got toes to this table here. That table's basically up against the window. Table's maybe what, 1.5 feet, maybe his foot is about 2 feet from the window, I would say. Just guessing. Now his head is almost equal with the bar right here. All right, so this guy, his body takes up a good portion of this room by himself, so here's a door over here, right? So I'd say what, maybe 15 feet to the door. I mean, I could be wrong, but these rooms are not that large. Like I said, I've been in one. To me, it was actually amazing how small it felt within those rooms after seeing these pictures of these things. Of course, the room I had was a double bedroom, so this actually had a bed in it over here. It had a wall that went all the way across. So it was a bit different. But it's the same floor plan. It's a corner suite. They all basically are the same square footage. And so let's say this is 15 feet. Let's say it's 20 feet. How long does it take you to get over to that room? Wouldn't take you that much, man. 6-foot guy, couple strides, brings it to that door instantly. It's not going to take very long. And that's the problem with the door logs. That we had a problem with the door logs back in the day when we're discussing a lot of the door logs. And in the same moment, both doors being opened. Well, he can walk in, open that door. He's got 59 seconds to get from that door to the other door within 135. I think it's completely possible. But that's a whole different conversation. So what I wanted to point out here is I don't think these rooms are as big as people seem to think. I really don't. They don't seem that way when you're actually in them. All right, so let's do some more of this. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. On the other side of this pointer, there's a door, the connecting door. If you wanted to, I mean, if you're that much of a big baller, like Paddock was, if you're that much of a big baller, you can rent the little room.
Okay, this doesn't matter at all, but he didn't rent these. These were comped. He didn't pay any money to stay in these.
The little room, which has 2 windows, and you can rent this room, to get an extra bedroom. And that's what he did.
Yeah. Well, not really.
Why would he do this? Why would he break out another window over here?
You tell me, big guy. You tell me.
And you see the angle right here, right? You see the angle. Well, he wanted to shoot the fuel tanks, and I've already explained why he wanted to shoot the fuel tanks, and I stand by that. I mean,
and I think you're wrong about that.
It doesn't mean that he was successful. Of course, it wasn't.
Now, I don't think he's right about this whole shooting at the vents on top of the tank. I just don't think he's right. I don't know if the guy's whole idea was he didn't know if he could pierce the tanks or not. I don't know, but that's all speculation on whether or not he was actually trying to shoot at those vents. He would have to be a really good fucking shot to hit those things, obviously, and he wasn't that good of a shot.
He was not successful. He did not blow up the fuel tanks over at the McCarran Airport. However, he thought he could. That was part of his plan. And whoever was with him, if 5 ifs, if anyone was with him, counting the 6th if that I said, if somebody was with him. Now that makes number 7.
Thanks for counting those out. But, if there's a second shooter and there's a second shooter in this room, where the hell did they go? If Campos was indeed in the hallway for the duration of this shooting, somebody had to get by him. There's no way. Well, unless the bracket was put in there after the person had left down the stairwell, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That's really stupid. Since the bracket was on the hallway side of the stairwell, it doesn't mean that means the person could not have, tried to escape down the stairwell, put the bracket up, because we're not superheroes here. We can't fucking vanish through walls.
But I want you to know something before I talk about this window over here.
Go ahead. You tell me.
Indications tell me he was a right-handed man.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for one weapon, all the weapons were right-handed.
Now, I don't know. I think the left-handed bullshit was something that was said, I believe, by Turber. Supposedly said by his brother to Turber. But with fourth-hand information, I don't trust it. So, I don't take that for much. Plus, I think his brother's full of shit for the most part. So I don't have a lot of confidence in him, even if he actually did tell Turber that. So, yeah, fuck whatever.
Weapons. Now, if you're a right-handed man and you only have half of that window, because I just explained to you that this left half of the window,
right-handed weapons,
was not the way it looks the night that he shot out the window. That's the way it looked the next morning.
Okay, so I think he, in the pause that I had there, my pause, when I paused his video, I think what he said there was that there was one, they were all right-handed weapons except for one weapon. They were all right-handed weapons. Just putting a dust cover on a fucking gun does not indicate that the gun is all of a sudden a left-handed fucking weapon. That's not what that is, right? that was propped up by a person that was propped up in this community as being a gun expert, and it turned out the guy was full of shit, and the guy doesn't know shit. So take that for what you will.
When this helicopter flew by, and the Las Vegas Police Department had knocked out the loose glass. So, in order for him to take a shot at the fuel tanks, he needed to come over here. And he did. Either he did,
I agree with
someone
you.
else did.
I don't agree with why you say he did, but
somebody else was involved.
I don't agree somebody else was involved. Not in that
I'm
room.
going to explain why I say if, which still kind of bothers me.
If it bothers you, then stop saying it. You've just said it like what, 12 times?
But at this point, all the evidence does point to one man and one man alone. But there is an if. This window here, it looks like it's like completely blown out, and they've knocked everything out. They have. The same thing that happened over here, the LVMPD knocking out the glass to protect the people that were investigating down on the lower level valet.
All right. I think that's bullshit. I would have to go back into my videos. I think I do have photos. I think I have video of that area down below that. I have stood below that 135 window right there. My memory is there is like a little bit of an awning. It's not the valet. The valet's on that 134 side right there. So there would be a basically a roof over the valet there. But 135, there's, if I remember right, there's not a roof below it. There is a little bit of like an awning out there. I don't know. There may be something there. There may be a freaking balcony or some bullshit like that down there, the lower levels. But a lot of that glass would have ended up in basically like it's like a planter, and it's a pretty large one. It's about 5 feet, stretches about 5 feet away from the building there. So I think that's where a majority of that glass would have ended up. And if if that one guy did dig up some glass out of the Mandalay Bay, and that's legit, then that's where it would have been.
Because there was a lot of debris that fell downward onto the roof of a valet. So if you were to jump out a window right here, some of you need to jump out a window right here and just jump out the window and go kill yourself. And I'm not saying do that, but some people probably.
But you just did say to do that. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Focus.
Need to do it. Just jump out the window. Boom. You're going to hit a roof down there.
On that side, yes. Yes.
You're going to hit a roof. They seriously were looking for evidence on that roof.
Yeah.
And there's multiple reasons why they were looking for evidence on that roof.
Because it's called collecting evidence.
There's doors down there that lead to an access where you can go from the roof all the way to the back parking garage. So yeah, they were.
I'm not sure the accuracy on that. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, there's 2 levels of valet. There's upper valet, there's lower valet. And then there's, I believe, a roof over the upper valet. Whether there's a door that has access to that roof, that's possible. But whether that access to that roof leads all the way to the parking structure on the opposite side, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it leads inside the hotel, but yeah, I don't know about the parking structure.
We're contemplating if a second guy came out of this shit show, did the second guy go down to the lower level and head across the valet?
How do you do it?
Head to the parking lot and just hop down a ladder.
Wait, jump out the window? Zip lines? What are we talking about here?
No shit. I've investigated it that far. I did that over 2.5 years ago. That was a very, very viable option if a second shooter was available and got away and wanted to get away without going out the front door of the hotel. No shit.
Not really. that's not a viable option. Like, how did the guy get out of that room if Campos was stuck in the hallway? Now, I believe he does mention Campos, but you got to discredit Campos if you're gonna go down that path.
Shit. No shit. I mean, it's pretty damn easy to do that. In fact, there's
It's
that
almost
was
like
the
he's talking
subject
to
of
me.
a couple of other videos,
Go ahead,
not
do it, big
by
guy. Do it.
myself, but by other people. Let's pause again.
Pause. All right. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Ten. I know you're gonna watch this video. I'm just gonna tell you, man. You don't have to say pause, dude. Just pause. Just you know, it is what it is, dude. Just do it.
I really think,
Although those are your like famous words at this point, so you know, whatever.
and it's always kind of bothered me, being a guy that was one of only two guys that actually had any experience with high-rise glass
Here you go.
in the whole 300 person community of Las Vegas
30 people?
shooting
Is that all it was?
of Stephen Craig Paddock,
That's height? Is that all it was?
myself, and Mark Ollinger. I think being only one of two. And I asked and asked and asked for other glass guys to get involved, and there was none. Mark understands what he's looking at here. So do I.
He's talking to you, Matt.
We know what it
Talking to you.
takes to break out a 1/4 inch heat strengthened on the outside. We know what it takes to break out the 1/4 inch interior tempered side.
Yeah, so do I. A fucking hammer. There was one in the room. It works.
Of the glass. We understand the timeline. We understand the sequence of the weapons. That took
Why is there a we? Why is this we, man? Where's your buddy at, man?
quite a while, folks, to understand the sequence of the weapons. We did not know that until the final report.
Now, I believe that was in the preliminary. I think the preliminary had the a lot of that information as far as which guns fired, how many rounds, all that sort of stuff. I think people were starting to figure it out in the preliminary. I was never one to really mess with that, but I know Aces Wild has a very good video on that. Very good video on that.
Which was 2019, August of 2019, that came out. Once we really understood that, then it's a matter of just piecing together the footsteps. There still is a gray area of whether
There's a lot of gray areas.
Stephen Craig Paddock actually on this side right here, he shot those fuel tanks.
What?
I'll put the probability that he did at 75%.
Yeah.
I think there's a 75%. And I'm not kidding you. I mean, I've thought about it. I wrote it down. I took a piece of paper. I wrote it down, all the positives, all the negatives, all the positives, all the negatives. And then I added them up and I came up with about 72%.
72.
And rounded off a little higher to 75% chance that Paddock was by himself.
All right.
Come on. Let me tell you something.
Get it going.
The reason I'm making this video is there's still 25% probability that Paddock was not by himself shooting these goddamn fuel tanks.
No.
There's still a 25% probability he wasn't. The only witness we have is
there you go, Campos. Jesus.
Campos.
Jesus.
The only witness we have is Campos saying,
mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't even say it. I've studied his reports.
His reports
I've studied his reports. People went down the hallway, but he's not saying that, it was some kind of shooter or something. And
wait. I just heard that. I didn't even hear that last time, man. He didn't say people were running down the hallway. I I'm trying to remember what he said in the first one, because he was saying he was worried about other people being scared. But I believe the only person he supposedly saw was the girl in 130. I think she popped her head out. And I think we found that somewhere. I think someone actually talked to her.
Although I do believe especially the early, I definitely believe the early part of Campos's phone call, radio, and his cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
I believe all three of those, folks. It doesn't mean that you have to, it doesn't mean that you have to not believe everything.
So I believe the time frame was it 10:09? I think it was 10:09 where the call came downstairs in the body cam, and we see them racing up to the elevator. And I believe that's where Campos was first radioing in that he was hit.
About Stephen Campos. Did he make a phone call in the foyer? Oh, hell yeah. Did he make a radio call? Oh, hell yeah. Did he make a cell phone call? Obviously, there's a cell phone record. Yes. Did he see everything he wanted to see? No.
What?
Okay, I just listed 4 things.
Did he see everything he wanted to see?
That's 75% probability.
I mean, like
3 out
Hawaii
of
or
4.
something?
So there you go. That's where I'm at with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not with you on that one. Come on, 10. Pick it up.
Where do we go from this step?
Come on.
Right here, right?
Come on, get that energy going, man. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Well, what we do is we educate people. There's people that are better computer and video makers than myself.
Yeah, none of them
From
care, dude.
the first day that I ever made a video, I knew that. I knew it. I knew it from day one, and I asked for help. I asked for help right there on the pizzeria. People laughed at me. And
yeah, that didn't work out too well, bro.
I kept asking for help. I kept asking for help. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? And I got doxxed.
Yeah, you did.
I got beat up. I got bullied.
You did.
But what they don't know about me is I'm a fighter.
That's good. Just don't go Alan
I'm a
Dion
fighter.
with me and say you knocked a guy out once. I don't want to hear that. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
Not the kind of guy that's going to bully you. But I'm the kind of guy that's going to keep looking for my own answers through the most crazy diversity there is.
Diversity.
I want to give full thanks.
What the fuck, man? Why you got to use that fucking word? Why you bring that word into a fucking Vegas video? What's wrong with you, man? Come on. Knock that shit off.
To the people that have supported this channel through thick and thin.
Diversity.
People that have understood that what I wanted to do was just what I just said. Y'all take care.
All right. So, all right, break this down a little bit. I believe what he's saying is he's saying that only a little piece of this window is broken right here. And we're going to look at the FLIR here in a minute. In fact, why don't we just do that right now? We can just do that. He, like I said, he did make a video because I did ask him about the FLIR evidence. Now, here's the video he made for that. Woo! Oh my God. Okay, bro. When you make videos for me, you don't need to add music, man. I don't give a shit. Especially this music. What the fuck? What made you pick this song, man? You like piano music or something? All right. Okay. So, this is a FLIR image, right? And this is why he's saying what he's saying, as far as only a little piece of that window being broken out. First one here is, looks like someone messed with the contrast or something. It's grainy as hell. Not a lot of definition there. So, I don't really care too much about that. This, there's a little bit more. It's a little bit better. Um, okay. So, you got a little piece down here. And I don't know if you can see my pointer or not, but yeah. Uh, you got some pieces here, some pieces here. You got a crack going up the top. Now, we're going to look at the next image he shows here. All right, so there's a crack up there. Of course, this thing's blowing out. You got the chair. Looks like it's stuck on the chair, and you know that's kind of blocking the drapes from coming out the window, but they're still blowing out. Of course, that's going to lead to a lot of the glass, especially the glass even on the ground, the stuff that's sitting on the floor there. It's going to be blowing that stuff all over the place, man. That stuff's going to be falling out that window all night. Um, the larger pieces, I'm guessing, came from up here or something that, or even possibly on this side over here, because it looks like this side they lost some glass there. Um, but that's probably what you heard in the body cam, most likely. I think. I don't think it's the cops coming in here and seeing this little piece of glass broken and just shattering the fuck out of this whole thing. And the way that it was blowing in the body cam made it look like this whole window was pretty much shattered at that point when they breached. And the other thing is, well, let's keep going here. All right. So next image. So he believes, and what this video he's putting out is all about. He believes that this little piece right here, this little corner, was the only thing that Paddock personally broke. Uh, I don't believe that to be the case at all. I don't think the cops went up there and said, "Hey, we got to break this whole fucking window," because I think at that point, if they were going to do something like that, I think they would actually break this entire fucking window out. I don't think they did that. It's a crime scene. I don't think they did that. Um, anyway, so that's the moral of the basis of this video that he made, was that he's saying that just this one small piece here was broken out. Well, that would be Paddock's left-hand side of the window, and only about maybe a foot and a half in from the left. So I don't agree with that. And let's see what else. Okay, so here we go. So he believes that only this piece was broken. All right. So we can see the venue down here. Behind the chair is the VIP section from where this cameraman is standing. Now, obviously, Paddock was not standing where this cameraman was standing. Otherwise, he'd be shooting right through this fucking chair to hit the venue, and that just didn't happen. The hammer's down here on the floor. Okay. So that causes a problem. Why is the hammer on the floor in 135 and not in 134? Because obviously, this clown had to go into 134 and break out that whole fucking window. And somehow the hammer ended up back over here. So that's part of the problem here. The reason, I believe, and let me see if I can pull this up in the fit report here to get a better idea of this. And I got to find the right picture here. Of the inside of the room. I mean, it's the same picture he's showing, but let's go to this. Let's stop screen, share screen. Okay. All right, here we go. So here's our room. Here's our window. Now, again, behind the chair here is the VIP area of the concert. So, in order for this guy to shoot down there, he had to be to the left of this chair, obviously. All right, unless that chair was moved somehow, sometime throughout all this bullshit happening. Uh, it's hard to see with the glass. Let's see if we got. Yeah, it's not a lot of glass. There's no way to tell if the chair was actually moved by looking at these pictures. All right, so here's the deal. And you see the curtain looks pretty much. I guess yeah, it is only blowing in on one side because behind this is the edge of the glass. It's the combing here. Yeah, basically close to being lined up with the chair. The angle could be a little off here, but that's what it is. So Paddock had to be standing over here somewhere near where this, well, to the left hand side of the actual window. He probably could have had a line of sight on this side right here down to the venue. It is possible. It is possible. Um, I believe the reason he didn't shoot at the tanks here, and I could be wrong because I'm not in this room. I don't have a line of sight. I don't understand the line of sight. I don't believe, I don't think these are the tanks he shot at. I think these are water tanks, if I remember right. Um, again, I don't want to. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong on that. But basically, the reason I believe that he didn't actually shoot the tanks from this room is because it's fucking pillar here. A fucking pillar right there. Right. So I don't know because, of course, I'm not in the room. I've never been in this actual room. The room I stayed with or stayed in was on the opposite side of the building, unfortunately. But this fucking pillar's in the way, man. It's in the way. It's not in the way to shoot the venue, but I don't know if those are the tanks or not. Okay, I'm not even sure. They might be. Yeah, I think those are actually, because this is. I don't know. I'm all turned around. It's been too long, man. It's been a long time since I've fucking dealt with this shit. But but I believe this pillar was a problem. I believe this pillar would have been an issue. So I believe that would make more sense as to why he went into 134 to shoot at the tanks from 134. And I don't believe he broke out this small piece and the LVMPD came in later that night and shattered this whole motherfucker and left, all the top stuff. Now, you know, thinking about Paddock, right? Paddock's what, 6 foot? So I would say, just looking at this, it's hard to say really, um, with these photos, because these photos are pretty shitty. Uh, but it looks like this is maybe what, 4.5 feet broken out, which means, it's a little bit of a safety net for Paddock, right? In case he slips on this glass, he's going to, at least have some glass up here, still blocking him from falling 32 floors down. Um, I believe that's probably a thing. Now, I've always been of the opinion, and this is just due to the hammer being in 135 and not in 134, that Paddock probably broke out. He's probably right. There were multiple times in which he shattered this window. I believe in the beginning he didn't need much. And what I see here is, and I've said this before, um, is he probably broke out this bottom piece, about 1.5 foot. It's about all he needs. And as long as he lines himself up maybe 5 feet back from the window, Um, and again, this venue looks a lot closer than it appears in these pictures. Um, that's the problem with the depth perception on this stuff. But because I have been up on the roof of this building in the foundation room looking down on this venue, and it's really fucking close. It's, it makes you believe that, yeah, this is definitely possible that this guy could have riddled a bunch of people, you know, uh, because it's closer than it appears in these pictures. So I'm of the opinion, and it's just my assumption, that this guy possibly broke out the bottom, right? Because you're looking at a giant wall of mirrors, basically, is all the Mandalay Bay is. Um, and if you break out a little 1.5 foot piece at the bottom, that's all you really need. And any bullets that go out that window, right? If you line it up, if he's standing right here, at this point, you shoot between the chair and the edge of the window there. Any bullets that go out that little section right here, if it's lined up just right, it's all going to hit the VIP. It's all going to hit in generally the same area. So I believe what possibly happened this night, and again, this is my assumptions, this is my speculation, is this son of a bitch went and blasted out the bottom of this window with the hammer, went over to 134 after was the fourth volley or whatever. I don't even remember anymore. But went over 134, knocked that whole fucking window out because he was most likely sitting on the bed shooting, which, I mean, why you would sit on a bed to try and shoot at fuel tanks. But again, that's why trying to hit a little valve on this fucking thing is, yeah, not really all that feasible. Um, anyways, so it goes over to 134, breaks out that whole window, right? But the hammer ends up back over here. Now, Ace is Wild put out a video, and there's the hammer right here. Ace is Wild put out a video where he basically put a little character moving from door to door or moving around the room, picking up the random guns, showing what he believes to be the sequence of the weapons fired. That was his purpose for the video. And he does show him go over into 134. Now, my memory of that video, because I haven't watched it in a while, was that there was a very large break in the time that he went to 134 and the time he went to 135. So it's completely possible, because what would have happened with the sequence that night is, as he's firing the original volleys, these people down here don't know what the hell's going on. People in the venue. And they're being shot at. The majority of them can't move. They're all laying on the ground. They're just, targets. So then he goes over to 134, right? I think is, whatever, volley 4 or 5, whatever it was. Goes over 134, right? Shoots at the tanks a couple times, comes back over here. Well, now all of a sudden you got people over here across the street. You got people in the parking lot. You got people running down, Reno Giles, all that bullshit. Running all over the place. Plus, you got the cops starting to show up. So now this little piece of glass at the bottom here isn't going to work, for that kind of scenario. So now you're going to need, and obviously, I mean, you could see it in this right here, right? The venue's right here. The venue's in the bottom, maybe 2 feet of glass on from this angle, from this actual angle. And to hit that parking lot, you're going to need a little bit more of the glass broken. That's just my idea, and that's based off the hammer being in 135 and not being in 134, the final resting place of it being in 135. That's just how I see things working. And I don't believe Paddock was right up against this window when he was firing. I think that's kind of insane. And I think if that was the case, this glass would be, you have some footprints or something of that nature. I don't think Paddock was standing in the glass. I think Paddock was standing a little ways back from this window. And let's see if we can find any. So, again, the window's right about here to the edge of this chair. He would have been standing somewhere right about where the hammer was. And you do have the pillar right here. Okay. So that's what I see happening. I don't see. Now, let's go back to the video he made today. For me, he put my name in it. Oh, it's so sweet. So nice. What a great guy. Okay, let's see. Let's go to this. Let's do the audio, even though I don't want to hear the fucking audio. All right. So this video, this picture, is pretty much bullshit. No real definition. That's just a giant blur. But we get to this. We got a little more definition here. Now I know what he's looking at. I understand what he's looking at. And he seems to think that this light refraction here is the only part of the window that was broken. He believes that this is the broken piece due to the light shining through. Now, what I see in this picture is, and you see my little arrow here. I don't have a fancy garbage grabber for a pointer. So where my arrow's at, that's where the chair's at. That's where the chair would be, right? So that's why you don't have the light escaping, through the window in this image. This would be the chair. This is most likely the curtain. This is most likely the curtain, possibly draped over the chair. I don't fucking know, but most likely this is a piece of the curtain. And this whole thing here, a lot of this is actually broken out window. And it doesn't look like it because you have the chair that is blocking the light coming out. You have possibly what I'm guessing is the curtain right here, blocking out some of the light. Up here, the crack, I can't explain why there's actually light coming through that crack, because if this was the curtain right here, excuse me, I don't know how to explain that bullshit. But you do have some light coming through right here. So that says that this piece of the window is broken right here, at least. It's possible there's a little piece here that's still intact. This is broken out. And this is possibly a piece that's still intact. Now we know there's a piece right here that's still intact. And you can't see that because that just looks like it blends in with the rest of this crap. Okay, so I do understand where he's coming from with this, because see, there's that little piece right there, and in the thing, it looked like this protruded even further. Looked like there's a piece up here that might have protruded a little bit. But again, these are grainy ass photos, and of course, again, there's a little piece of glass right there that we see. It looks like this piece was a little more prominent. Maybe it got shattered out a little bit throughout the night. A little piece out here, possibly, when we're looking at this FLIR crap. He says this was at 11:30 at night, so who knows? This is quite a bit after the shooting stopped. But again, I see where you're going. I see exactly where you're going with this. I understand what you're trying to say. And I completely fucking disagree with it. Because you do have some light coming out here. You have light coming out here. You have light coming out here. It's hard to say what this is right here. It's hard to say what this is right here. Because you do have some light protruding right here. You have light protruding up here, of course, up here. So, yeah, I kind of disagree with that. The I don't think this is evidence that the police came in here and decided for shits and giggles to bust out this fucking window, you know, for people investigating downstairs, especially when you think about it. 11:30 at night. Were they really investigating the roof below this? No, they weren't. Because we have the body cam footage of the cops just randomly walking by that area and glass falling. So, yeah, there was no investigation going on at that point. So I don't think the cops were worried about breaking out this entire window to save people that were down below. I don't buy that at all. I think this guy most likely, hammered out this whole section up to about what 4 feet or something like that. The section above it probably spider web and came out throughout the night. If and I don't have the image put up, um, but the image I always use to talk shit about Hoover stuff like that is an image of the police on the ground, and it's actually an image Hoover used to say that the window was not broken, which actually turns out to be something you can use to show that the window is broken. But in that image, when you sharpen it up and play games with it, video I did a long fucking time ago, it looks like this whole window is pretty much broken out at the bottom. The only thing that's a little questionable is this little triangle piece at the top here. So that's about all I have to say about that shit. Oh man, what the hell is that trying to show me? Oh, this music. Oh, the music. Wow. Wow. It's like memorial music, man. This is like the kind of fucking shit you'd hear in a fucking funeral home, man, when you're at a fucking mortuary or some shit. It's crazy. Not to be fucking morbid about shit, but that's what it sounds like. Anyways, so I know you're gonna watch this 10, you know. Um, respect, man. You're still trying with the Vegas stuff. You're still working on the Vegas stuff. Got a lot of respect for that, man. Especially after all the shit you fucking kind of went through. Even though, I know you did some shit yourself. Again, you got this window, the wind whipping this fucking curtain out, so it's gonna be blowing, glass out. It's gonna be breaking some of this stuff. So I'm sure this window most likely did not look like this when Paddock was shooting out the window. I'm sure there were shards over here that got knocked out later um, due to this curtain blowing in and out. I would be very surprised if that did not actually happen. I'd be very surprised. I mean, even this, from this to this, whoops, from this to this looks a little bit different, right? Looks like we've had some stuff broken out, in the interval between these two things here. So I don't doubt that, but I don't believe that the police at 11:30 at night decide to bust out a fucking window in the Mandalay Bay. Just for reasons, just I don't believe that. Anyways, I think that's about all I got to say on that. Yeah, that's something. It's something. All right, so I'm gonna end that with that, and hopefully the sound came through a little bit better than it did earlier. Could sound like dog shit earlier. It was terrible. So yeah, stay safe out there. Have a good night or morning or whatever the fuck it is wherever you're at. and have a good day.